My name is Ahmad Haikal Fakin bin Saidun Azhar. I'll be answering questions number 1. This article pinpoints that the driver of Malaysia's economic growth in Q3 2024 is domestic demand, particularly in its service sector, assuming within the tourism sector hotel accommodations price rose by 12% due to increasing demand, while quantity demand only fell by 4%. So, the formula to calculate the price elasticity of demand is price elasticity of demand equal to percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price. So, based on the questions, we can see that change in price is 12% and change in quantity demand is 4%. So we can use the formula before to calculate the answer, which is quantity demand divided change in price, and the answer is 0.33. And because the answer is less than 1, the graph is inelastic. And based on the questions, we can see that 12% increase leads to a 4% decrease in quantity demand. Consumers are influenced by price change. Hotel accommodation is considered important during period of high demand. Questions B. Explain how change in household income might influence the price elasticity of demand tourism service. 1. Higher income make higher demand. When household income goes up, for example, if civil servants get a rise or minimum wage increase, people will have more money to spend. This means more people will be able to afford a vacation or use travel service like hotel, transportation, and tourist spots. Number 2. Opposite from number 1. Low income makes more sensitive demand elastic. When household income is low, people are more careful with their spending and may not have enough money for things like travel and tourism. This means that if travel prices go up, demand will decrease a lot because people won't be able to afford the higher prices.
Assalamualaikum. Today I will diving into the concept of income elasticity of demand, a key ideas of economics. Let's look at the examples. Suppose an 8% increase in household income leads to 12% increase in demand for luxury goods, such as imported cars. My task is to calculate the income elasticity of demand for these cars and determine whether they are necessity or luxury. The formula of income elasticity of demand, often abbreviated as a YED, is percentage change in quantity demand divided percentage change in income. In my example, the change in demand is 12% and the change in income is 8%. So, the income elasticity of demand is divided by 8, which equals 1.5. So, the income elasticity of demand is divided by 8, which equals 1.5. Since my YED for imported cars is 1.5, which is greater than 1, we can conclude that the imported cars are classified as a luxury good. This makes sense as people's income rise, they are more likely to purchase high-end items like imported cars. For question B, in what manner might the alteration in income levels addressed in the article influence the demand for this good? Why increase in 10% and quantity increase in 30%? And why decrease in 10% and quantity decrease in 30%? How change in income levels influence the demand? First, increase purchasing power. When income rise, consumers have more disposable income. This allows them to buy more goods and services, including those they may have previously considered unaffordable. Second, shifting preferences. As people's incomes increase, their tastes and preferences may also change. They might start prioritizing higher quality goods, branded products, or experience of a cheaper alternative. Change in demand for different types of goods. First, normal goods. As explained earlier, demand for these goods increase with income. Example includes dining out, clothing, electronics, and travel. Second, inferior goods. These are goods for which demand decreases as income rises. People may switch from cheaper options like rent or public transportation to more expensive alternatives as they become wealthier. Third, luxury goods. This experiences a more significant increases in demand as income rises. As seen in my example includes high-end cars and designer fashion. I hope this explanation was helpful. Thanks for watching.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Patricia Amni binti Muhammad Zulkarnain. My ID number is 24110129. So today I would like to discuss about question 3, which is cross price elasticity. So here's the formula to calculate cross elasticity of demand, which is Q1 minus Q0 over Q0 and times P0 over P1 minus P0. Another formula is percent change on quantity demand of good A divide percent change in price of good B. So for my question is question 3. Here's this question. The manufacturing sector has been a key driver of economic growth, with increased demand for raw materials like steel and aluminium. Suppose the price of steel rose by 15%, leading to a 10% increase in the demand for aluminium. So A, calculate the cross price elasticity of demand between steel and aluminium. The calculation will be percent change Q, which is aluminium, is 10%, divide percent change P, which is steel, 15%, we got 0.67, which is substitute good because they have positive relationship. From the graph, show that if price of steel increase, the quantity of aluminium also increase. For question B, determine whether these goods are substitute or complement, and I will justify my answer. For justification, the cross price elasticity of demand is positive, which is 0.67, indicating that steel and aluminium are substitute. This means that as the price of steel rise, the demand for aluminium increase because consumer or manufacturer substitute steel with aluminium to maintain production level. So from the article mentioned that Malaysia's economy is driven by gains in the manufacturing sector. Manufacturing often involve the use of raw materials like steel and aluminium. If the price of steel increase, manufacturers may shift to aluminium as an alternative, highlighting their substitutable relationship. The substitution helps balance input costs while maintaining production efficiency. So if the price of steel increase, which is 50%, the demand of aluminium will increase by 10%.
Hello, my name is Faraliana binti Abdul Rahman. My ID number is SIT24110-130. I'm from DBIT 1A and my question is number 4. So, we start with this. The article attributes part of Malaysia's economic growth to the manufacturing sector, which includes electronic goods. However, the article also mentions challenges such as global uncertainties and supply constraints. Suppose the price of electronic goods increases by 12%, but the quantity supplied increases by only 5%. For question A, calculate the price elasticity of supply for electronic goods. Is the supply elastic or inelastic? Now, let's look at the calculation. The formula for price elasticity of supply is percent change in quantity supplied of goods divided by percent change in price of goods. So the calculation is 5% divided with 12% equal with 0.416. So we need to round it to 2 decimal places and it becomes 0.42, which is less than 1. So it shows that the supply of electronic goods is inelastic, which means that the suppliers are relatively unresponsive to the price changes. As you can see in the graph, it shows that the price change is 12%, which is from PO to P1 that shifts upward, and the quantity change is 5%, which is from QO to Q1 that shifts to the right. Now, let's look at the question B. For question B, discuss two factors based on the article that might contribute to the observed elasticity in the manufacturing sector. Now, let's see the price elasticity of supply, which is known as PES. For electronic goods in Malaysia's manufacturing sector is very low, suggesting that producers cannot quickly adjust output in response to price increases. So let's talk about two potential factors for this. The first one is access to resources. The manufacturing sector's growth in 2024 reflects its ability to operate despite the inelastic nature of certain resources like labor and raw materials. Although these resources could not be quickly increased, government efforts such as raising wages and improving working conditions help manufacturers maximize productivity and meet growing demand effectively. Next is helpful government policies in between 2024 until 2025. Government policies address the inelastic demand for manufactured goods by boosting domestic spending through wage increase and other fiscal measures. This helped manufacturers grow even though the demand for their products did not fluctuate significantly during the period. These policies ensured that production could adapt to both current and future needs. Last but not least, the observed inelasticity in the manufacturing sector can be linked to internal factors such as access to resources and external influences like government policies in 2024 until 2025. Both factors limit the sector's ability to adapt quickly to changing economic conditions. Thank you.